Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. This is the first podcast for counselors that just don't align with the traditional approaches to business and that want to use their spiritual gifts, talents, and interests to create, you guessed it, a private practice with soul. So, look, leave it to me to provide you with everything you need, including strategies that you can use to increase your income, reduce your workload, and of course, increase inquiries and referrals to your beautiful soul-led private practice. I love it so much. If you haven't done it already, grab your journal, grab your pen, and let's begin. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. Thank you so much for being here. And before I get started, can I please apologize for not recording a podcast on Wednesday? Totally my fault. Take full responsibility. But what I will do is I'll do an extra episode for you this week. So you'll get 3 this week. But there is a story behind it. And, I just thought today for this episode, I'm going to give you sort of a behind the scenes of what's been happening. So today you won't need your pen and paper and journal. Today you could just relax and listen to me as I debrief with you about what's been going on that some of you are aware of and most of you are not. But before I do that, I'm just back from the vet. I had to pop down and get some more heart medication for Gabe, and then I had to pop into Kmart and pick up a few bits and pieces for Mum, because where we live, I'm in Mount Eliza, but the vet is in Hastings, and down in Hastings, the only big store there's sort of a Kmart. But anyway, they've got these really cool cloths. So anyway, I wanted to get one of those. Anyway, I came back and I said to Mum, was Gabe okay? And we had this bit of a chat about separation anxiety, because when I drive up the driveway, he's like got his big puppy dog eyes on, and he's like looking at me through the lounge room window, and then I see him run to the front door. He's just so cute. And then I was thinking, how much I was loving listening to one of my friend's podcasts on the car as I was driving back from Hastings. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I have to do my podcast. And then when I was thinking about separation anxiety, I thought, maybe that's something that I could speak about today in the context of what's happening with my business. Because I have had separation anxiety from my excuses. As you know, I have this new coach, right? And this new coach, I get coached all the time. I'm addicted to coaching. I love being a coach, but I also love being coached because, of course, I want to get my business to a certain point as well. Now, if I'm totally transparent with you, I'm not there yet with my business, wherever there is, but I have a goal in mind, let's just say, and I haven't been there. And maybe about 18 months now, my journey, I've been doing lots of things, but where I want to be progressing, the needle hasn't really shifted much. And so I've kept going and getting another coach and another coach and another coach. Okay. And all my coaches are great, and they all had special gifts in their own right. And I loved working with them, but did it progress the needle on my practice? No. It progressed needles in other areas of my life, like my spiritual awareness and, growth and all of those sorts of things. But in terms of the specific goals I had for my business, no. And of course, on top of that, being in Victoria, as many of you know, we had lockdown galore over the last, 18 months, 2 years as well, which obviously contributed to things. But anyway, I've got so many excuses. I don't know whether to call them excuses or reasons. But anyway, listen to this. So I've got my new coach, right? And I went into it with the mindset of, I want to get coached because I've got this goal in mind. And between you and I, it is a financial goal. And the reason that I've got this financial goal is because I want to be more available to do things for my family. I think I told you my sister's pregnant, new baby on the way. I've got a new little nephew as well. He's only 10 months old. I want to be involved. My sister's not, she doesn't have anyone to support her. So I want to be available and I want to step in and help her any way, shape or form that I can. I need money to do that. And same with looking after my mum, I really want to be able to make her as comfortable as I possibly can, give her absolutely everything she needs and then some, and just give her luxury. She's 71. I want her to have luxury. And so when I say I have a financial goal, my why is because I want to have the type of lifestyle that allows me to be less in front of the computer, so that I can be spending more time with family. It's so important to me at this point in my life. So anyway, this is my intention with my new coach, right? It's my intention with all my coaches. How do I get to that financial goal that I have for myself? Anyway, so, I start getting to know her. She's awesome. And anyway, she says to me, well, yeah, let's work on that financial goal for you. And then she says, I've got a whole bunch of resources. And do you know what? She gave me all these resources. And I mean, so many resources. It wasn't overwhelming. It was just like, there was a lot, but I just felt, number one, uncomfortable because I thought, how can someone share all their stuff like that? And then number two, I thought to myself, what am I going to do with all of this? And then, it was just like, I don't know, like nobody's ever given me their stuff before. And I didn't know what to do with that. And I was just kind of in shock for a moment. Well, not shock, but I didn't know what to do with that. Like, I'm not a good receiver. It's something I'm working on. I need to cultivate my feminine energy more. I'm still learning how to receive. And so when she gave me access to all of this, part of me was suspicious. Part of me was thinking, what's the catch? All these things came up, right? And then she says to me, hey, let's map out a way for you to hit this goal that you've got. And, and we sat down, we actually mapped it out. And that felt really good. And then she said, yep, so you're going to do this and you're going to do this and do this and do this. And I said, okay. And some of the things that I need to do include software that I don't have a very nice relationship with. Software that I don't love this software. So I was kind of nervous about it and everything. But I think it took me a while to get going, not just on the software, but on accessing what she gave me and on using it. And I think upon reflection, what was happening was I kind of felt like somebody had, I don't know. I just want to say I've been totally stripped of all my defenses in that Dropbox folder that she shared with me. I felt totally stripped in that moment that I clicked open and I saw all the stuff she'd shared with me. I just felt stripped of my expenses. I felt raw. I felt vulnerable. I felt open. And scared. And the thing was, I didn't realize this. It wasn't in my conscious awareness at the time. But I think over time, I had formed a belief that you go and get coached or you go and get helped and people will help you a little bit, but not fully. And, it's on you to do everything. And when she did the opposite, it was difficult for me to accept and understand. I just couldn't process it. Anyway, it gets worse. And by worse, I mean better, in that she then sent me a list of steps to do. And it was like step 1, do this, step 2, step 3, step 4, all the way, right? And sometimes there were like 50 or 60 steps. And I remember looking at it and I thought, seriously? She wants me to do these steps. And then I just thought to myself, well, do you know what, Brooklyn? You have no more excuses anymore. You can't sit there and say no one showed you how to do it. You can't sit there and say you don't have the tools that you need. You can't sit there and say you've got no one to, to reach out to if you get stuck. Like, none of that exists for you anymore. So I realized that I was just going to have to do it. And so it was so weird. I can remember it happened maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and I can remember sitting in front of the computer and I had her, her steps out. I printed out the steps and everything and I started going through them and I thought, oh, that was easy. And then I did number 2 and I thought, oh yeah, that wasn't too hard. And then I did number 3 and I thought, oh, I ticked that off too. And then number 4 and number 5. And guess what? Each time I ticked a step off, of course, I started to feel more at ease with that. I was like, maybe I can do this. And then I'd tick off number 6 and number 7. I go, I am doing it. Number 8, number 9. And I thought, hey, it gets to be easy. And this is my experience of it getting to be easy. And if you've ever worked with me before, I have probably said to you more than once, hey, it gets to be easy. Your private practice gets to be easy. But I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that it never stops. This cycle of hitting ceilings and then questioning everything and then hitting another ceiling and questioning everything. And it's happened to me too. So anyway, I kept implementing everything. And then guess what? It was working. And I was so it was like I was having an out of body experience. I couldn't believe the results that I was getting. And although it was a huge learning curve, I mean, I had to learn, I don't know exactly, but I want to say maybe 4 or 5 different software platforms. I had to get 2 VAs, and I've got, love-hate relationship with hiring VAs. Sometimes I'm really great at it and sometimes not. But I did it. And, one of them's still with me now and she's amazing. It meant too that I had to let go of a lot of things. Like I had to let go of MailChimp, which I was so scared to do. And I think I mentioned this to you before as well. Like my whole business life has been on MailChimp. And anyway, I was thinking along the lines of, well, if it got to be easy, what would I be using? And then I found Flowdesk. And so now, this other VA transferred everything from MailChimp to Flowdesk for me. And it's just so easy to use and it's not complicated, it's not hard. And of course, it doesn't have all the same functions that MailChimp does, but it's just so much easier and I love it. And now I get to make these beautiful emails and my open rate has increased. And do you know what I mean? Like it just feels so good. And anyway, what else did I want to share with you? I think for me, having had the experience of working with someone that gave me the things that it was like she read my mind. It was like she saw me and she said, I know what your problem is, Brooklyn. You're very masculine energy and you need steps and processes. You've been doing so much of the inner work with the feminine that nobody's meeting you where you are. Like you keep saying, I want the steps. No one's giving them to you. So I'm going to give them to you. Here you go. Don't worry about creating this stuff. I'm going to give you my stuff. You can just use my stuff. And so by taking away all of those excuses, I realized that it all came down to me. And it was so uncomfortable because I can see now, but I didn't see it at the time, that it was me experiencing my next up level. Not in the external world, but inside me, it was this next level. And because I guess I hadn't really done all the embodiment work prior, like over the last 18 months, I've done some embodiment work and I've done it sort of, so far, but I hadn't gone all the way. It was taking time for what I wanted to manifest to actually manifest in real life. And now here I was with all of the steps and tools and nothing to hide behind. It was all on me, so to speak. It was like, somebody just waved a magic wand and said, don't worry about your excuses, cue twinkle music. I've taken them away for you. And now you can just go ahead on the path. I've removed this big obstacle. Go to, wherever you're going to go and enjoy it. So it's been really interesting to reflect and see what that has felt like. But it's also drawn my attention to the fact that I needed to really embody the version of me. Like I've said to you before, I wasn't doing it myself. Like you think that you're doing all the things, and then every now and again the universe says, hey, you actually haven't been doing all the things. And so now I'm in this kind of like, I haven't been here before for the longest time, certainly not ever with this level of awareness. And I just feel like I've gotten out of the car and now I can walk through the open paddock and I'm safe and I'm fine. And, there's good things waiting for me when I get to the other end of the field. Like, I just feel so calm about it. And I want to share that it all could have happened a lot faster for me had I had two things. And that was, had someone actually given me the steps I needed to get my business where I wanted it to go, number one, and for me to be doing the inner work. I think what had happened was I'd been doing all of the inner work and I'd been trusting that other people were going to show me how to do things, and they hadn't been. And I was taking that on as, and I was just leaning into the feminine with that all the time, trying to cope with it that way. And I was trying to tell myself, maybe you're not hearing it, maybe you're not ready to receive what this coach or that coach is sharing with you yet. So I was kind of like taking full responsibility, when actually what was happening was I wasn't integrating the masculine and the feminine. And what I know now about the way that I work is I need that harmonization. I need it to be not necessarily 50-50. It's always going to be 50-50. There's always half the masculine and half the feminine. But I need to be more mindful and aware of, when I'm trying to achieve a goal, how I'm approaching it. And this is something that we talk more about in Clients on Demand. And we're actually going to talk and speak more into some of this embodiment stuff in the Private Practice Bootcamp. It starts on Monday, which is so exciting. It's just like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 sleeps. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh, we have I think it's about 155 people or 160 people now, all queuing up to come in the doors. And I can't wait. It's going to be so great. Oh, you should see what I've done. Oh, I'm not going to tell you. No, I will tell you a little bit. I have made up some really awesome things for everybody that's coming into that group that I know are going to be so helpful and so effective and really, truly going to help them. I honestly don't think any of my resources wouldn't get a change for someone or wouldn't get a result for someone. I am that excited about it. Like, oh my gosh, it was so hard. Like, I just wanted to go and share everything over the last week. I just wanted to go and share it in my groups and share and just give it away straight away. And so it was all I could do to kind of sit on it, because I'm not that great with holding things back. And I'm so excited. I just can't wait to see people's reactions when they get this stuff, because when they actually use it, they're going to get these quick results. And it's going to be so much fun. And also every afternoon for the 3 days, like the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're going to have these live catch-ups, and they're going to be like a mixture of coaching if anyone wants a bit of coaching, and also Q&A. So if you've got any questions about your private practice, and I can answer them, of course, I definitely will. If I can't answer them, I'm going to let you know I can't. I'll get back to you. But I'm hopeful that I can. I'm pretty confident I'll be able to support you. But anyway, So this is so, so, so important. And the other thing that I realized too is when I think back about when I started the private practice, uh, I didn't have the structure then. And I was winging it, totally winging it. I didn't know about masculine and feminine energy. I certainly wasn't being creative. I was like that ship without a rudder, and I was just praying I was going to, end up at my destination. Although I didn't have a destination other than fill my diary. Like that was the destination. That's how bad it was. Bad in the sense that it probably took me longer than it needed to because I didn't have a plan in place for the business. So, yeah, I'm just winging it. I didn't have any support other than what was going on in Facebook groups. And if you've been in any of the Facebook groups I'm in, you probably have seen, well, not in the ACPPO because I'm super duper protective of that space, but definitely in the other group, Counsellors Connect Australia. You would have seen bickering and, all of this sort of stuff going on. And hopefully that's all getting weeded out now. But I totally lost my train of thought there. But there are times when you get all of the steps given to you and you wonder why it's not working. You wonder why aren't I getting those referrals? Why aren't I getting the inquiries? Goodness, she said do a Psychology Today profile. I've done that. She said put a booking button on the website. I've done that. She said, be helpful on your Instagram posts and reels. I've been doing that, but here's the thing, like it's not, you can't just rely on the masculine energy. And likewise, you can't rely on the feminine, Oh, she said make a pretty logo. Well, I've done that. She said organize my brand colors. Oh, well, I've done that. She said write a nice story for my page. Oh, I've done that. And I'm still not getting the inquiries. You can't only operate in the majority of the feminine. Without the feminine, you'll never get anywhere because the feminine doesn't complete tasks. The feminine says, yeah, I know that. What's next? Yeah. And she just wants to get on with creating. The masculine is like, I don't have time for embodiment. I don't have time for thinking about the version of me. I don't have time to do a journal prompt or, connect with my higher consciousness or my higher self or whatever it is you want to call it. That's time wasting. I don't have time for walks outside. Who's got time for that? I need more strategies. Just give me the steps. So here's the thing, you can embody the masculine and say I want the steps, and you can be very linear and you can have all the steps, or you can be mostly in the feminine where you hardly ever complete anything. And you know what? You can still achieve your goals. Absolutely, you can still achieve your goals. But it's going to take you a very long time compared to if you integrated the masculine and the feminine. Because when you combine those two energies, you increase the effectiveness of what you're doing exponentially. The feminine needs the safety. She needs to feel like it's safe to go to the next step, and that means to embody the next version of herself for business and for her private practice and for her role as a counselor and a therapist. But the masculine needs to soften and in order to start receiving. If you're in a masculine space and you're doing all of the things, you're never going to be receiving, or it'll take so much longer because you're not in the energy of saying thank you. You're not in the energy of gratitude. You're not in the energy of calming down. You're in the energy of being busy and saying, that didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. Like you're thinking about all those steps that didn't work. You're not thinking about, I've got all these steps and they're working for everybody else. Why aren't they working for me? I wonder if it's because I need to change the way I look at things. Because get this is like another epiphany moment that I had. I was, out in the garden the other day and not doing anything good. I was just, didn't sound right, did it? Not doing anything good. I was just not weeding or doing anything useful. I was just literally looking up at the stars because where I live in Mount Eliza, it's really clear, the sky, and it's just so beautiful. I can see the Southern Cross quite clearly. I can see the moon. It's so bright. It looks like there's a light on outside. It's just, I'm blessed to live here. I know that. And I was out there and I was just contemplating all this sort of stuff. And I was thinking a lot about manifesting. And one of the things that came to my mind was what Wayne Dyer said about how when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I thought, I wonder if I can apply that to private practice. And then I thought, oh, if I change the way I look at private practice, my private practice will change. And I was just at a light bulb moment. So anyway, then I've got to think, how am I going to change the way that I look at private practice? And so that's what I've been doing over the last little while. And you know what? The other thing that I've been doing more is because I've been working so hard, the work that I've been doing and getting these other 2 memberships going, which you will find out about this week. There's it's so many moving parts. They're not difficult, intellectually to set up and get going, but there's just so many of them and they all connect to different things behind the scenes. And if you get one thing wrong, then it's like House of Cards and it all comes tumbling down. And I've got just about everything wrong and had to keep rebuilding. But what was I going to say? So when I was going to bed, I love to meditate. I really enjoy listening to Joe Dispenza meditations, and the one that I'm really loving at the moment, because I go through stages, of course, is tuning into new potentials. You can get it on his website. I think it was $30 or something, Australian dollars, that is. Anyway, and so what was happening was he takes a long time to go through the induction, how you've got to, settle into your breath and do all the things. For me, maybe it's just because I'm so experienced with meditating or something now, I'm just thinking, hurry up. But I'm also knackered. I'm exhausted after doing all of this work, that when I do go to bed and I'm listening to him doing the induction, I've been falling asleep. And so I've been missing the meditation. And I know that there are people who say, well, it still works even if you're asleep, but I want to be present and aware for it. So anyway, over the last few days, another sort of Brooklyn brainwave, I realized, hey, do you know what? You know how to induct yourself. Just do it nice and quickly, and you're just going to fast forward the induction bit and get into the good stuff. And so that's what I've been doing, and it's really been helping a lot in terms of me feeling more aligned with where the business is going, because I'm starting to realize, because I had all that coaching for 18 months, and yeah, as I said, some of it was amazing. It just didn't push the needle far enough for me. I guess I started to feel like it was never going to happen. I think I started to feel like maybe I've hit my peak. Maybe this is it for me. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's nothing else. Maybe I have to accept this is as far as it's going to go, or this is as far as I'm going to get, or this is, do you know what I mean? And now that somebody's taken that away, now I realize, oh, yikes, I better catch up now. I better start thinking about what it's actually going to be like when this all happens, when I hit these goals that I've set for myself, because now it looks like a reality. Now it looks like it can actually happen. So I've got to start thinking about what that's going to mean. And so do you know what I mean? I'm catching up to it now because I slipped. I forgot to do this inner work. And anyway, so that's the point of today's podcast. I just wanted to update you really on why I was absent on Wednesday. It's because we've got clients on demand starting on the 1st of July, which is only 4 weeks away, really. We've got the pop-up boot camp starting on Monday, which is 3 sleeps away. Plus, I've got these other 2 memberships opening next week, which is only a matter of a few sleeps away. Plus all the content creation and setting up stuff. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's all this behind the scenes stuff that your members don't see and your clients don't see, and it's the learning curves that nobody sees. But that's where my energy's been, because I just want to make sure that I can get everything out there. And I know I'm not perfect, and I'm okay with that. And I trust that you're all my dreamiest clients too, and that you will be accepting of my imperfections. Well, not accepting, but accepting, but understanding maybe. Because I, as you probably know too, I'm very much a big picture person. And so sometimes you're going to see a typo. I'm just saying, sometimes you're going to click on one of my links and it might take you to somewhere miles away from where you thought you were going to go. But do you know what? I think I've got it all sorted out for the weeks ahead. I've also got an amazing person that's double checking everything for me just to make sure that it's all okay. And I've just gone through and today been testing everything for you. So yeah, but I just wanted to show you like what my journey has been like over the last little while. It's been hectic, but it's been definitely a lot of growth, definitely shifts, definitely new awareness. I'm so excited. Like, really, I can't wait till Monday, to tell you the truth. And you know what? I just feel so energized. Like, I'm so excited. And tomorrow, guess what? I've got PD all day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. On Zoom. But you know what? Totally fine, because everything's ready to go. And yeah, I'm buzzing and I can't wait. And I'm really, 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 really excited to see everybody on Monday. And honestly, I had no idea. I didn't set a target for how many people were going to come or join or anything like that. I just left it totally open, and I never expected 160 odd people would join. But I'm so excited because it means that I get to help so many people who actually want to be helped. Even if you're not ready to do more, even if you're just kind of private practice curious and you want to just, maybe you're still studying, or maybe you're a new grad, or maybe you're employed and you're thinking about starting a private practice. I think the pop-up group, it's free and everything, but I think the pop-up group is probably going to be a great way for you to jump in with some like-minded people and have conversations that actually help you shift the needle for yourself. You'll be able to work with me live every day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and hopefully that's going to help you shift the needle. And the resources that I'm going to share with you have been designed to help you shift the needle. And if you're not ready to do all of that now, that's fine. Save those things, because they'll be there for you when you are ready. As will I, as will the ACPPO, as will Counsellors Connect, right? You're totally supported. But anyway, that's my journey. So no one's perfect. There's no right way to have a journey in private practice. What I'm going to be teaching you on Monday and in Clients on Demand is that when it gets to be easy, that looks like a full integration of the masculine and the feminine. It's a full integration of your steps and processes, structures and strategies with your creativity, with your relationship building, with your ability to connect with others, with your stories, all of those sorts of things. You will be able to create a successful for you private practice when you learn about that integration. And that's what Clients on Demand is all about. So join me if you're not enrolled. message me on Instagram. My handle is at the Private Practice Coach. Message me on Instagram. I'll send you the link. As I said, it's free to join. All the information will be up for 72 hours, and then the group's getting archived, and you won't have access to it anymore. So come along. Say hello. Oh, guess what? There are so many people that are coming who are in the ACPPO and Counsellors Connect, and I know the names, but this is going to be the first time that I've had a chance to see their faces. It's going to be so cool. And like, they've seen mine because like everybody's seen my face and everybody's like seen my videos and this, that, and the other, but I haven't seen everybody else's. So I am really excited to, actually meet everybody. And for me, that's like one of the highlights of it. It's that connection, and I want to have the big conversations, and I just want to make it as useful as possible. So yeah, you get the chance to ask questions on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, anything you want about private practice. It's your hour. We've got 1 hour. If you've got questions and you can't attend the live sessions, you can post them in the pop-up Facebook group. Everybody gets let into that group on Monday. So yeah, you can I'll make a little thread for people who can't attend, and you can just submit your questions and I'll be sure to answer them on that call for you. Okay, sound good? Yay! Okay, well, I have to go now because Gabe needs dinner and so does Mum. Tonight it's green curry. I know, I love it. Anyway, and a bit of Netflix, hopefully. But I will let you go. Thank you so much for listening. For those of you who are coming to the bootcamp, I'll see you on Monday. For those of you who want to join Clients on Demand, let me know, because there is a pre-sale special, and I would love to honor you as a listener of the podcast by giving you access to the pre-sale special as well. Okay, so have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you on Monday. Yay! Bye everyone. I hope that you loved this episode as much as I loved putting it together for you. To get more resources to help you in your private practice, head over to Instagram. My handle is at the Private Practice Coach. And also, if you want more inquiries and referrals for your business, let me know. I have a program called Clients on Demand that opens every quarter, and I can absolutely get you some information for that as well. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. Bye.